Well, Represent Radio, I think it's great that we bring in a special guest on today's show, and I'm talking about probably one of the hottest female dancehall artists of 2020 and beyond. Of course, we're locking down right now via Zoom with the one and only Moyann. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up?
It's so good to see you. It's so good that we can be here via Zoom and still do these like interactive interviews over the internet, even though everything's kind of locked down still.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure. Thank you.
It's great to have you here as well, because there's been so much we've got to talk about, because there's been a lot that's kind of happened recently, because really more than 2 years ago you were kind of still an unknown entity in the music scene, and since 2018 you've just skyrocketed to being one of the most in-demand dancehall artists, well, just across the world right now. How's that gone in such a short time? How's it been for you?
It's been awesome, and yet I'm still thankful. There's further where I really love to be, but I still have to keep working, keep pushing, keep putting out new music. So yeah, I'm just grateful for where I'm at and what I'm doing, and I just hope the fans see that.
Definitely, and you're definitely rolling in the right circles as well, because I think maybe the first time we heard you was on the Netflix Rhythm with Netflix and Chill that was done by DJ Frass, and I know DJ Frass is someone you work very closely with.
Yeah, I work with DJ Frass a lot. Likewise, Jordan, Chimney Records, Good Production. I work with Ramesh Entertainment, so I work with all of them.
And they're the biggest sort of producing canvas right now in Jamaica. Like every big rhythm, which goes on to lead to some of the biggest singles in dancehall over the last for the last 10 years, has been made by a lot of those producers you said there. So from day one, you've kind of been rolling with the right people. So how did you kind of get into the scene from that? Like, because obviously we find you from Netflix and Chill on DJ Frass's Netflix Rhythm, and then you've kind of been on every big rhythm since then. Like, how did you kind of make that first step?
Well, I started out music by Netflix and Chill was my first ever song, and that was produced by Frass, yes. And I DM'd him through Instagram. I reached out to him, telling him that I would love for me to be on his project. He asked for a demo of me like DJing or singing or whatever it is I do. I sent it to him by email, and then from there it was just going up. So I'm grateful for that opportunity he gave me. So that's where I'm at now.
Absolutely, because obviously if you think back to the Netflix and Chill, like of the Netflix Rhythm, there's tracks in there from people like Mavado and Steph London and Cranium, who you've now gone to collaborate with on the Lockdown Rhythm with I Got You.
Yeah.
So how's it been being able to work with these artists straight off the bat, really?
It's been great, and I'm so grateful to be on a track with them, because these artists are people that I looked up to in the music industry. I always dreamed to sing a song with them. So for me to be able to be on a record with any of them, it's really, really, really good. Like, it's awesome. I'm so grateful for that.
And I feel as if this is a really great time as well for females working in dancehall. Like, of course, there's been iconic names throughout all sort of the beginning of dancehall, really, and reggae music. You've had people like Lady Patra and Lady Soul and artists like that back in the 90s. And I feel right now we've got an influx of more and more female artists. So you've got the likes of, Shen Sears running things as well. You've got Jada Kingdom, Pampute, as well as yourself, Alakai Harley, Steph London, and the list keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel the future of dancehall looks with females having such a strong influence on it now?
It looks really, really good. I mean, at one point in music, it was just very male dominated. It was very hard for women to be able to be recognized, or even to have a certain amount of people listening to them. I think women really have a voice right now in dancehall music, and I really love that. I mean, you can have people like me coming up and getting the attention that we deserve, or the recognition that we've been seeking for so long. So I really appreciate the turn that dancehall music has took on, to where we have so much female artists coming out, and even male artists too, but the female is really dominating, and I really, really love that.
Absolutely, something that I think is just incredible to see as well. Like, there's so many incredible artists, and some of the most creative things in music right now have come out from female artists, in my opinion. I really think like the ladies are definitely running the scene.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that in mind, what's been sort of your process through lockdown right now as an artist? Because the music hasn't stopped for you. Like, I've been seeing you on so many different rhythms throughout this whole pandemic that we've been looking at this year.
Yeah, definitely. The music hasn't stopped. I mean, now is the time to write more. Now is the time to put out more projects and just keep relevant, keep on doing whatever it is, because I mean it's lockdown, but we can't lock down ourselves or lock down our music. So we have to just keep on pushing and just put out more music, write more songs, and just keep on doing what we have to do.
It's so good to see that as well, because you've been on so many different rhythms this year. Probably one of the newest ones is the Liquid Sunshine rhythm with Him, and that is like, that's a tune that I'm absolutely loving. That whole rhythm, I'm just seeing every DJ on the live streams, because they're not really doing live shows, juggling with that one.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you've got the massive single that you've just done with Seani B, Position, right, on the Bruckout Records label. So how did that come about? Did you guys link up before the whole lockdown thing, or has this happened in a more recent time, or did it happen online?
We linked up because we have this record for a very long time. He came by the studio and we vibed it and everything, and I mean, I'm just grateful that I get to work with Seani B. You know, Seani B is a legend in the Jamaican scene. We look up to him because he's helping to put our music on the map in the British market. So yeah, I'm just grateful that he chose to work with me and I could deliver how he wanted me to deliver. So I'm just so grateful for that.
Well, Seani B is definitely the guy that sort of knows what's coming soon. Like I've been lucky enough to work with Seani B from a marketing perspective, and I was with him with day one at the start of the careers of artists like Alakai Harley. They worked with Footsteps at the very beginning as well, and then there's a whole other bunch of artists that they've been working with since day one. They've gone on to have huge careers, so it's good to see that you're another one to add to that roster of successes right now. And the track Position, I'm just absolutely loving it as well, because I know for one that you love your classic 90s and early 2000s dancehall. And one of the main hooks in the track is that Terra Fabulous Position sample. So was that already something that you'd already written a song with that in mind, or had Seani kind of come up with the sample base and then you wrote to the rhythm that he'd made? Like how did that work with the sample and then making the title song Position?
Seani was the one that really brought in that little flavor. I mean, you know, everybody's supposed to know that song. It's a huge song in the dancehall scene. So yeah, he was the one that came up with that little hook thingy, and I just fell in love with it right then and there. I mean, I was like, that this has to be in the song.
Yeah.
I mean, it even gives the song a little flavor, you know, it gives it a little raunchy, raw kind of dancehall feeling. I love it.
I think it's a really great little sort of like tip on there as well, because I don't know if you've noticed as well, but in pop music over the last few years, there's so many songs that sample classic. Obviously, sampling is something that's been going on for years, but I find recently there's a lot of massive hits have come from people that have sampled classic R&B tunes or classic hip-hop songs. For example, Skip Marley has sampled Wu-Tang Clan on one of his recent tunes and stuff like that. Then you've got people like Toddler T sampled things like Crazy Town's Butterfly and things like that. So to have a Terra Fabulous sample on your one, I think's a great way to kind of hook the older audiences on someone that knows the original Terra Fabulous tune and bring it into that modern era.
Yeah, definitely. I see a lot of sampling going on, and I love all of them, to be honest. I love all of them. I think everybody's doing a good job when it comes down to sampling. And I think a lot of people expect a lot when you choose to sample somebody's song. And I think we don't have to judge so much, because everybody can do what they want to do with the sample and just put their flavor on it. So yeah. I love the little bumper up in the ear, everything round and back. It just gives that feeling, that dancehall thing that just grabs people. So I'm just glad that I'm on that record, and I'm glad that Seani chose me to work with. It's
something that it's definitely hooked us, and it's something that we've been championing for the last few weeks on the Gully B show here, and I can't wait to see where this single's going to skyrocket as well, because I feel as if this is one that, with the whole COVID thing this year, a lot of live shows haven't been happening, but I know as soon as we're back in the dance, that's going to be the first tune a lot of selectors are going to be playing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's just so sad that we can't get to be outside and get to see what this track can really do in the parties. but slowly but surely we get in there.
Well, I'm sure that you'll be back over here in the UK at some point to play at Notting Hill Carnival or something like that, and some sort of dance or space, or even one of the Bruckett parties, because that's one that we need to see live.
Oh my God, I'm dying to go. I can't wait.
We want you here. Like, the demand is there. Trust me. Because I even started, like, when I was preparing for the interview today, I actually went and looked on your Spotify, and some of the top, I think it was the #1 city was London for your fan base on Spotify.
Yeah.
So we want you over here.
Yeah, I really want to come. I'm dying to come. Honestly, I just want back that vibe, but we just have to wait and see what's gonna happen.
Well, you're an absolute champion on a lot of riddims right now, and dancehall as a whole, more so than just the single position right now. You're on so many different riddims that have come out in the last few years. So I know that you've got a big history in knowing your dancehall too. So one aspect of the show is always ask the guests to pick their top 5 songs that we can select on the show, where you can be the selector instead of me for 5 tunes. So I'd love to hear kind of what kind of things inspire you, what you have good memories of, or things that just uplift the vibe on everyone's weekend right now. So what would you want to go for your first pick on a top 5 selection?
So my first pick would be Bob Marley Redemption song.
Absolutely.
I think that song is so special to me.
Yeah, to be honest, that's just one of the songs that I think everyone can resonate with. So for you,
definitely.
What's so special to you with it? Like, do you remember the first time you heard the song, or do you have a memory to that?
I don't remember the first time I heard the song, but I know that knowing it right now, it holds a special part in my heart because the lyrics is just so realistic. It's addressing a topic that we were even experiencing today as Black people. So I really think that song is so powerful. I think that people should really know that song because it's really speaking facts and things that we as humans should really look into and practice. So I think that song is really powerful.
Absolutely. The message couldn't be any clearer and any stronger than it is today. So
the message is really clear, really, really clear.
Absolutely incredible song right there, and I hope a lot of you really listen to the lyrics in that one and the message that comes clear from Bob Marley's voice in that one, because that's an anthem. That's one of those iconic songs that will always be remembered, I think. So I'm so glad you picked that song. So what you want to go for your second pick, Moyann?
My second pick would be Tessa and Chin, Secret Hideaway. I love that song. I just love the melody. I love how she did her thing on it. I don't know. I just love that song. So
do you remember the first time you heard that song? Was that just something that you're really vibing with right now, or is there something special to you on that?
I think my sister was the one that was always listening to that song, and then I just catch on to it, and then from that I just love it. Like even when I'm in the bathroom singing, or you're doing cleaning and stuff like that, you're playing your little playlist. Like that's always one of my top 5.
Wicked tune right there.
Always one that I always run to sing to. So yeah, but my third song would be Jackie Unconditional Love.
Incredible song. What made you pick this one?
Oh, I just love this song. I've always been a fan of Jackie. Like if I could have picked like at least 10, I would have at least 4 or 5 Jackie on that list. I love Jackie. Like he's one of my favorite artists too.
Champion selection right now. You're gonna put me out of a job as a DJ, I think, Moyann, because that's a big tune.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
Have you been a Jackie fan for a long time then?
Yeah, I really love Jackie songs. I know a lot of Jackie songs. A lot.
Well, it's one that we're absolutely loving in the show.
He really did his thing in the reggae field. Like he made his mark.
Absolutely. So what do you want to go for your fourth pick then, your top 5?
My fourth pick is Alkaline, Perfect.
So what made you pick that one? Because obviously there's so many Alkaline tunes you can pick with, and I know that you've been on a lot of riddims with Alkaline as well in the past. Like what is it that's special about you loving that tune, Perfect?
I don't think there's anything special. I just love the flow. I love the rhythm, like how he flowed on it. The melody. I just love that song. I'm always singing that song. Even when I'm in parties and they play it, You know, I have to go on bad fan that. I love that song there. Yeah.
Well, obviously, you've been on a lot of riddims with artists like Alkaline. Is this something we could see maybe possible collabs down the line? I know that he's worked with artists, producers like DJ Frost, and so do you. Could we possibly ever see a collaboration like that in the future?
I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Alkaline is a really great artist. Lyrically, he's great. He's one of my favorite dancehall artists too. So, I mean, shit, yeah.
All right, Moyann, so we're coming up now to your fifth and final pick. What do you want to go for to end the top 5 today?
So, you know, I had to save the best for last. With my song on my mind, I love that song. That song was wrote with passion, everything. I love that song.
That was a wicked final selection for your top 5.
Best for last.
How did you come about writing that song then? What was your? Did you always have that in mind, or did you sit down in the studio and that was like studio time to write?
I mean, Jordan sent me the rhythm, and fun fact, I was going to write a money song. So the hook of the song was like money, 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 mine, mine. So Frank was like, why would this don't sound like a money song? Change it up and do something else. So I changed it up and turned it into a love song. And then from there, I just put all the passion, everything in it, and it just hold a special place in my heart because I don't know, it's just something about the melody, what I'm saying, and it's a true experience. So I love that song.
Well, it's a song we're absolutely loving here, and I'm so glad we got to play it on today's show as well, because it's something that I always want to draw for as well. So thank you for picking that as your fifth and final pick.
Thank you. Yeah.
So then, for the meantime, where can people find you on social media right now? Because this big tune right now is Position, and that's one that should be getting added to everyone's playlist. But they shouldn't stop there. Add it to the playlist, but make sure they're following you. Where can they find you right now?
You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat at just_Moyann. That's just_MOYANN. And you can find all my music on YouTube, and that's Moyann Vivo, and also my Spotify. Thank you for having me. It's
been so good to have you here on the show. So one final thing is I want to ask is, right now we're in this whole pandemic sort of lockdown situation. A lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of junior artists, I feel like they haven't got the outlet, the expression. But your work ethic has been something to behold, because you're on a different rhythm almost every week at the moment. There's constant Moyann music coming out at the moment. So what's your tips for staying consistent and active in the pandemic right now as an artist?
I mean, I won't lie, it's really hard because there's a lot of things that you have to be focusing on. But at the end of the day, you have to just go for what you want and know that you can't let anything get in the way. No matter how hard it is, no matter how bad it is, you have to be persistent and disciplined. And I know that that is something that can be very hard to do. But as long as your eyes is on the prize, you still have to go for it. Right now, I'm in writing mode. I've been writing like crazy, recording like crazy. So I have a lot of things for you guys to see, and I'm so excited. So just stay tuned for that. And I love all my supporters. I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show then, Moyann. Moyann, it's been so good to have you here. We cannot wait to see what comes for the future. Until then, keep yourself safe, keep bringing the great music out, because we're definitely going to be supporting it here on the Gully B Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Big up Gully B every time.